Listen up, it's going down. Anarchy Splatfest. Breaking news, you two. It's out of time. Splatfest! Oh, I like Splatfest. Time to party. What's the theme? Dark chocolate versus milk chocolate versus white chocolate. It's because Team Sweet just rocked everyone's taste buds. Not so fast. Dark chocolate is the best. It's rich and sublime and just sweet. Just sweet? How dare you? Milk chocolate's perfectly balanced. So mellow and creamy. For talking creamy, don't forget the velvety goodness of white chocolate. Why can't we pick more than one? This is torture. I quit. Oh, calm down there, talking about chocolate. It's yummy. It's the best. This part is the cocoa, right? So dark chocolate easily wins. And while the other chocolates are mere truffles, dark chocolate has some things. Don't remember what the dark chocolate is good, so whatever. Is that how science works? So that dark chocolate has poisoned your brain. I believe in you, Shiva. It's not too late to turn from the dark side. I thought I was onto something there. About to win you two over. Back to chocolate. White chocolate is so smooth, like a gentle wave flavor. And did you know you can use it to make other chocolate flavors, like matcha? Ooh, I love some matcha. I guess white chocolate is actually pretty legit. Oh, but I like everything about chocolate. The smell, the sweetness, the creaminess. Oh, so you're one of the most important to you. All of them. That's why milk chocolate is the best. Don't you see? Milk chocolate is a perfect blend of all the chocolate's best qualities. We're never going to agree on this. Oh, I disagree. I'm shocked. Let's put up the stakes. Loser has to get the winner's the choice of chocolate. Deal? Fine by me. I'll get along with all the sweet, sweet chocolate. Or it could be me, just saying. That's all for now. Make sure you get your votes in. Okay. Museum, Clam Blitz. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, that's the gear for the month? Huh, interesting. I hadn't actually looked at the league gear. I can't remember if this week is random or if next week is random. They might have just said and I might have just missed it. So, which of the three chocolates am I going for? I like white chocolate, right? I like it in white chocolate macadamia nuts, cookies. Milk chocolate is an easy go-to. And dark chocolate, I mean, it has its place in baking and whatnot. And I did eat that 100% dark chocolate on stream that one time. God, that stuff was awful. But between the three, I'm going to just go milk chocolate. It's just the most logical choice. It's probably the best. Yeah, I'm going to go... I like white chocolate. You know, it's good. It definitely has its place. But no, I'm going to go milk chocolate. So, yeah. I was kind of split on which one to actually do. Alright, let's jump right into it. So I'm still stuck in A rank. That has not changed. I took a stab. You know, I've taken a stab at getting a rank up. I basically evened out, right? I gained like, I think you cost what, like 120 to play, and then I got like 130 or 140 back. So I technically made progress, but not much. So yeah, it's not been... I've also been having the past like week or so, I've been having a lot more connectivity issues. That might just be me, but I have been having a lot more connectivity issues, and it kind of sucks. But you know, you gotta work through them eventually. Okay. So yeah, so it has been a busy week for me, you know. And then next week is also busy, and then Valentine's Day is the week after that. Oh, sugar snappies. So yeah, I like tonight. I can tell you we're not talking about Kipo because I did not finish the third season. No, I did finish a different show, and we will be talking about that. But I did not finish Kipo. We'll talk about it next week. So yeah, but no, the news story-wise, we have two. There's only two that I cared about because there were a bunch of delays this week. Like I know Jedi's Fallen Order got delayed, Last of Us coming to PC got delayed. Did Horizon? No, Horizon DLC did not get delayed, but it's now coming out the same week as Jedi Fallen Order, or at least like within like 2 weeks of Jedi Fallen Order. They're coming out like right around each other. That's what I'm thinking of. I still need to... Oh, God, I've been thinking about Horizon recently. I really should play that. Oh. Oh, is the Super Bowl next week? Is that what I'm... Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's next week. I think Ant-Man is not next week, but the week after that. I'm excited for the new Ant-Man. I just hope it's... Right, we're at the start of Phase 5, you know. We're giving ourselves a fresh slate. Hopefully everything's good. I don't know. Part of me thinks that, like, the going between Phase 4 and Phase 5 is a lot like going into a new year. Like, they say it's different, but is it really that different? I don't know. Previous phases, right, you could easily tell because there was an Avengers movie. But now we don't have an Avengers movie. So yeah, which was very weird to have a phase without an Avengers movie. Like, I know Phase 5 doesn't have one either, but it's got the Thunderbolts, and depending on how they do that, that's close enough. We lost. They had too much in our base. So yeah. There was something else. I don't remember. Oh yeah, we're up to level 70 in the catalog. Which we'll talk about the next catalog in a little bit. Because yeah, the main stories are E3 and the Nintendo Direct rumor. So let's just start off with that. So E3, so I want to say was it IGN? Do I have it written down here? I want to say it was IGN of all people, put out a report. Somebody important put out a report saying that, hey, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo have all pulled out of E3 2023. They will not be coming. Okay, so that was the original thing. These stupid bots. So yeah, they all come out and they're like, hey, right, so the report comes out and it's like, oh, what's going to happen now? And then, and you would expect, like, the ESA to be like, oh, well, we're not going to say anything, because, you know, we don't want to completely kill the show, potentially. But no, they actually just completely straight up admitted, like, yeah, no, that's true. Nintendo, Nintendo and, oh, I'm out of ink. Yeah, they basically just straight up confirmed that, yeah, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft will not be at E3. So they confirmed that. Because E3 this year is supposed to take place on the week of January 13th through the 16th. So it's around the same time it always is. But yeah, with Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo not coming, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, that means E3 is dead. Right? Like, that kills it, right? Like, even, like, losing Sony was something they were able to get past, right? Because they lost Sony a while ago. I want to say 2019, but it was probably 2020. Either way, they lost Sony a while ago. So that was something they were able to push past. But losing Microsoft in Nintendo, that's it. That's the end of E3. Now, I know Nintendo didn't do anything for E3 last year. Microsoft did their showcase. And Sony had a showcase, I want to say the end of June. I want to say they did something at the end of June. That sounds right in my head. But, yeah, this is it. This is the end of E3 as far as I'm concerned. It now goes on to Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest. Which, yeah, you know, I said right, if Jeff Keighley can pick up just one of these companies, which, to be fair, he's done promotions for both at Summer Games Fest last year. He did promotions for both Microsoft and Sony. So, I think, right, if his Summer Games Fest this year picks up both Microsoft and Sony, if he can just get Nintendo, yeah. Basically just make Summer Games Fest what E3 used to be, but without the ESA. Because fuck the ESA. They're a horrible institution who've done they're a lobbying group that have done all sorts of terrible things on behalf of corporations and the government. Fuck the ESA. Or, you know, on behalf of corporations to lobby the government. No, fuck the ESA, and yeah, fuck E3. You know, I know we love E3, but we don't need E3 to do, like, a big, like, showcase like that. Right? It's like you don't need church to celebrate your religion, right? You can do it without a church, and all of its fucking bullshit. I don't know, I wanted to work a metaphor into Christmas in there, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. You don't need all the festivities of Christmas to still celebrate with the people you love. Anti-capitalism? Sure, it's something like that. But yeah, so we don't need the ESA. And yeah, if Jeff Keighley wants to take it over, because I still think the idea of right, it doesn't have to be done by the ESA. Anyone could do a showcase in June. Because I still think it's a good idea. Right, having one place and time when all these different companies can do all of their announcements. Right, so that way consumers know that, like, hey, during this week, you're going to find out all sorts of new information. Right, we don't just have to wait for random tweets or random drops. We know, like, hey, during this week, everything's going to happen. I still think that's a good idea, and that's why I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest. Or whichever showcase we're doing. Right? We just don't need... Right? Like, because nobody... Like, because E3 was it's not a convention. It was a expo. And expos usually are just for corporations. E3 is actually kind of one of the few... Like, you look at something like CES that happens in January every year. And it's very different than E3. In almost all ways. Because it's a consumer electronics show. It's not a game, like a showcase to show off new games and whatnot. Even though they always have weird stuff, like, I think CES this year had, like, Smell-O-Vision again. They also always have weird, like, I think they had, like, a shark computer this year. And I remember, I think there was a shoe computer as well. That sounds like something that was at CES this year. So yeah, I don't think we need the ESA. And now, Microsoft did come out and say that they are going to be doing some sort of showcase the week before E3. So it's not being done with the ESA. It's being done by the people who do PAX, of all things. But yeah, and I still say, I had the idea a few years ago. Because, you know, right, people like demos. But the problem with demos is that they can easily be, like, hacked and whatnot. However, if you're doing all your demos through, like, cloud services, then theoretically people won't hack them, or at least it's going to be a lot... Right, there's a few more steps that need to be done to hack, like, a cloud demo. And that's what I feel like Microsoft should do. Take advantage of Xbox Game Pass and the Xbox Cloud services to basically make a cloud, like, hey, for this week in June, we're just going to be putting up a lot of cloud demos. And you can play them on your Xbox for this week, and then we're removing them on the cloud service. No need to download any software, no need to get any, right, no need, maybe even, and of course you could always have it so like, oh, you can also play them from your phone as well. Because, you know, xCloud does that. So I definitely feel like there's some potential somewheres there. Right, and Xbox, I say Xbox do that because they have the best infrastructure to do it. I'd be fine if other companies do it as well. Because, like, I think of Nintendo doing demos, and a lot of the times those don't go well, especially for the Pokemon Company. Oh, do demos for the Pokemon Company not end well? So, yeah, doing something like that I think would be in their interest. But yeah, so it looks like Xbox is probably going to do, yeah, a show in early June. I don't know what the week before the 13th is. Calendar. It'd be the 6th, I guess. Sure, that sounds fine. That makes sense as something they could do. But yeah, fuck E3. Long live the Summer Games Fest, I guess. It just depends on, right, if Nintendo and Sony are going to come in to support it. Sony's been doing their own things for a few years now. And Nintendo pulled out last year? But Nintendo also did... I still stand by. They still technically did a Direct Mini. I want to say they did that in either late June or early July, if I remember correct. But the reason Nintendo didn't do anything big last year was because they didn't have anything to show. Which, you know, it happens. Admittedly, it's kind of weird that after, right, all this time off... We know Nintendo was hit harder from COVID than any other gaming studio. Right? That's been stated several times. And so it makes, right, 2020, 2021... makes sense, but still in 2022 they were affected. But who knows, maybe this year will be the good year. Maybe Nintendo just never had anything big planned to begin with. But I still have hopes, right? I think 3 directs a year is generally what it's been like for the past few years. One early in the year, one in June, right, that E3 week, and then one in September. Sometimes, you know, sometimes it's in March, sometimes it's in October, but right, for the most part, it fits that schedule. So, speaking of that schedule, there are rumors of a Nintendo Direct swirling. I know we kind of talked about this last week, but since then, the rumors have gotten a lot more apparent. Jeff Grubb over at... Oh, fuck, where does Jeff Grubb work? Jeff Grubb over at... Wherever Jeff Grubb works. Jeff Grubb basically came out and said that, yeah, he's heard rumors that we are going to be getting a Nintendo Direct the week of February 6th. So, the prediction is that, yeah, Nintendo announces the Direct on the 7th, and then we actually get the Direct on the... So, yeah, the Direct gets announced on the 7th, and we actually get the Direct on the 9th. I think that would make sense. I think that's a very logical time. It's been a while since the last Direct, so I feel like this is a very fitting time to do it. Oh, shit, there were 2 of them. So I think that makes sense. Of course, you know, Jeff Grubb, I know he has been wrong in the past. But he's got those insider information. And sometimes things do definitely change. Right? Like, I still am convinced that the Direct Mini last year was actually supposed to be a larger scale Direct. And then things got changed. For any myriad of reasons. I'm still convinced that, the Switch OLED was supposed to have 4K support. But then at the last minute, Nintendo changed it and cut out the, 4K. Because all of the leaks about the Switch OLED were correct, except for the 4K support. And things change all the time. With this Direct being leaked, right, not leaked, rumored, by Jeff Grubb, it is completely possible that in order to, like, avoid dangerous hype cycles, which have always been one of Nintendo's greatest enemies, hype cycles easily backfire for Nintendo. They have time and time again. It is completely possible that they push the Direct another, like, 2 weeks, just to avoid a bad hype cycle. That is something I can totally see them doing. So yeah, if it gets pushed to, like, the end of February, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Because Nintendo's totally done stuff like that before. But what to actually expect in the Direct? The first thing I have listed is Mario Kart DLC Wave 4. I do not expect the DLC for Wave 4 to be until late March, early April. But much like how they revealed, Peach Gardens and 3DS Rainbow Road for the last DLC, and the September Direct, and then it came out in December, I could see them doing the same thing. Like, hey, guess what? Here's the first 2 tracks. Hey, it's Wario or Waluigi Stadium, and, Amsterdam Drift or whatever. Right? And we'll reveal the rest of the tracks later on, closer to the release date in April, or whatever they say. So I can see that. I think that's a very logical thing for them to do. I think that would make a lot of sense. So that's prediction number 1. Splatoon DLC, or Splatoon, I think they are going to announce the next season of Splatoon. So currently we are in the chill season. Before that, it was the drip season. So they're going to announce whatever the spring, because I'm assuming we're going to get basically 4 of them a year. So I'm assuming they're going to announce the next one, and it's going to probably release early March. And my prediction is the Shine season. Right? Like Shine, because, right, drip, chill, right? Those words have certain connotations. I think Shine makes sense. It's gonna be something seasonal. I would love if they would do, like, the Rainbow season. I think that would be very funny. And just put a bunch of Pride merch in there. But no, I know they're not going to do something like that. You know, if this was another company, maybe. But not Nintendo. Right, the Rainbows. Because, right, it's all seasonal. Chill, drip, Shine. So my prediction is it's going to be the Shine season. Because we know, they say the game's getting 2 years of support. So that's what we have to look forward to. And this is right, this would be the 3rd thing. Because we did get the mid-season update recently. So we're at least halfway through the season. And I think the season also came out in December as well. I could definitely be wrong about that, but I think it came out in, like, December-ish. So yeah, I think March, April, or sometime in March would make sense. I do not, however, think we are going to get the paid DLC. Right, we know Splatoon is getting paid DLC. We do not know what it is yet. But I do not think we are getting that until whatever the June Direct is. Or when they do, like, a Splatoon, like, national tournament, which usually happens, again, in June-ish. So that would be my prediction for whatever the big, like, paid DLC is. And that comes out at basically the game's 1-year anniversary. Because that's how it worked for Splatoon 2. Is they announced the DLC in like a spring update, and then it came out during the big tournament, which was 1 year after the game's release. So I think they announced it in the summer, and then it comes out around the game's 1-year anniversary. I think that's the logical conclusion. A lot of people think they're going to do Cuttlefish kids, right? Because we got Inklings, we got Octarians. There are several Cuttlefishes referenced throughout the game, and I'm not just talking Captain Cuttlefish. Like, there are several others besides them. So any of those... So that would... Like, there's not much in the game right now that supports that. But, you know, DLC. I still want the wedding DLC. I still think that would be a lot of fun, but we'll see if that actually happens. But I don't think that's coming until, like I said, June. Next up, Advanced Wars. Oh, wait. Pokemon DLC. We're pretty sure we're getting a Pokemon Direct on the 25th. They're not going to... They never... I know people always say, like, oh yeah, maybe they'll talk about Pokemon. Pokemon has never been in Nintendo Directs. Pokemon always does their own events. We are not finding out about the Pokemon DLC. We will, though, on the 25th. Pokemon always does a stream on their anniversary. Or at least they have for the past, like, 5 years. So that's when we'll find out about it. I'm calling it right now. A lot of people are talking about, like, a giant turtle, Discworld style. I don't know where that's coming from exactly, but that seems to be what a lot of people are talking about at the moment, so maybe it's that. I still think doing, like, Rock of Gibraltar, even fucking Morocco, there's a lot of potential to do stuff like that, but we'll see what it actually turns out to be. I know a lot of people want to return to Kalos as well. I'd be cool with that. But yeah, Pokemon, that'll be later in the month. Let's see. Next up, yeah, Advanced Wars. So there have recently been some eShop updates, and I guess even some websites have started taking pre-orders for Advanced Wars again. I do think we're getting Advanced Wars, finally. Right? Advanced Wars 1+2, they basically delayed it an entire year. But, yeah, because we know the game is done, right? People have there was at least one person who already had access to a copy of the game. So we know, right, the game's been finished, but, you know, it's been... Because Advanced Wars as a series is cursed, right? The original game released on September 10th, 2001, and as far as I know, the original game never came out in Japan because of that. Like, that's not a joke. Like, seriously, Advanced Wars is cursed, and of course, it's the most recent game. But I do see us eventually... I think it's just... They should just push it out. Which does make me wonder, is this game going to be digitally only? Because part of me says they should just ship it out and just put it at digital only. I know that will probably theoretically hurt the sales of the game, not because they made physical copies of the game. Right? It's like the same thing that's happening with Everybody Want to Switch. Which I do also... I could see that being in the Nintendo Direct. Right? Imran Khan talked about the rumored game a few years ago, Everybody Want to Switch. That we didn't hear anything about last year, but I do totally believe Imran Khan. I do, right, again, kind of like Jeff Grubb. He's gotten things wrong, but for the most part, he's got good sources. I actually trust Imran Khan more than I do Jeff Grubb. So yeah, I do think, yeah, we might see that this year, right? Do they do it as... Because they made physical copies of the game. It's been done. It's just not fun. So do they just scrap the physical copies? Do they make it part of Nintendo Switch Online? Who knows what they do. But I definitely see them doing one of those things. So yeah, that's one of my predictions for the future. Everybody Want to Switch, I think would make sense. But yeah, Advanced Wars, I could see them releasing it as early as March. If they do it digitally, if they do it digital only, they honestly could just drop it like, hey, it's available today. I don't think they do it that fast. And I know Kirby's in March. I don't remember when in March. but I know Kirby's in March. But I could also see them being, Advanced Wars is available March. I want to say the original release date was like April 10th. So doing it right, whatever, or basically just delaying it 1 full year, I think that would also be a thing that they would do. But I think they're just going to push Advanced Wars out there. We lost. We were doing pretty good at the beginning, but yeah. No, I think Advanced Wars makes a lot of sense. Right? Just get it out there as soon as possible. That's good. Next up, there's been a lot of rumors about a Mario baseball game. I'm not even gonna say rumors. I'm gonna say speculation, because we had Mario Golf, we had Mario Tennis, we've had Mario Soccer. The last Mario is baseball, unless they bring back Mario Sports Mix, which I think is a god-awful idea. So baseball makes sense, right? We finally got a Strikers game. It wasn't great. I mean, it was fine. It just wasn't anything amazing. As like people speak about the first 2 Strikers games. But no, I could see us getting a new Mario baseball game. I will not be buying it. I have given up on Mario sports games. I think after tennis and golf, I was like, yeah, no. And then, of course, everything on the Wii U. I'm kind of done with Mario sports games. I don't need another one. I did not pick up soccer. I know people love Mario Strikers, but the new one just did nothing for me. Which really sucks, because people talk so highly of the Wii and GameCube games. I think it was a Wii game. I know it was definitely on GameCube. People talk so highly of that game. And yeah, I was so let down, to say the least, by everything I saw of Strikers. Was there a demo? There might have been an online demo. I kind of don't remember. Hey, friendly fighter, how you doing? First thing that came to my mind was the stupid Rick and Morty joke. Oh yeah, he always talks about it when he's drunk. Like, do I talk about it in a neutral way, or no, you just talk about it. I just want to make it clear to everybody here that I wear no ill will. And I'm not getting into the Israel-Palestine conflict tonight. Fuck that. I'll talk about video games till the cows come home, and I'll talk about how I fucking hate politics. But nah, you don't pay me enough to do that. What was I talking about? Oh, Nintendo Direct. So yeah, new Mario baseball game. I see where Nintendo's coming from. I think it would make sense to get a new one. But I have literally zero interest in a new Mario baseball game. Literally could not care less about a new Mario baseball. Mario sports games are dead to me. And especially after Sports Story this year, one of the most anticipated games just ended up being such a letdown. Yeah, Mario sports games are dead to me. Most sports games are dead to me. The only exception would probably be a new Mario Kart. And honestly, it would not surprise me at all if Nintendo found a way to fuck up a new Mario Kart. With how their track record has been recently, Nintendo fucking up a new Mario Kart seems very on brand for them. With everything they've done with the sports games. Oh my gosh. So yeah, what else do I have on here? But so I can totally see Mario Baseball happening. Metroid Prime. So I still do not. I think the first thing we're going to see of Metroid Prime is over the summer, right? It's going to be one of those games that we find out about over the summer, and they're going to make like a big deal out of it. It probably isn't coming out until next year. Just being honest, it's probably not until next year. However, I do see them announcing a remake of the first Metroid Prime. Being like, hey, for everyone interested, right? Basically them saying like, hey, here's Metroid Prime 1 Remake, and we will have more information to share about Metroid Prime 4 later this year. I could totally see them saying like something like that. So I think that is very likely. But Metroid Prime 4 itself, we aren't getting for a while. I know it's been a very long time since it restarted development. And right, people are very jumping at the bit because it feels like it's the year. And I agree, I just don't think it's the release year. Right? I know there was also a rumor for like a brief minute there about another 2D Metroid game, but I don't think we're getting that next year. Or this year. I could theoretically see us getting both a 3D and a 2D Metroid game next year. With Metroid Prime 4, and I don't want a remake of Super Metroid. Super Metroid does not need to be remade, unlike Metroid 2. That doesn't need to happen. No. I don't think they really need GameCube, or they really need Game Boy and Game Boy Advanced on Switch, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. That's usually for NES Online, for N64 Online, for SNES Online, those all got announced during Fall Directs. So I think if they do announce Game Boy and Game Boy Advance support coming to Switch, that'll be during a Fall Direct. Of course, the one exception I could see to that is if the Pokemon company plans to announce, hey, guess what? For this year, we're releasing Pokemon Red and Blue on the Game Boy Virtual Console. Then they would need to have if that gets announced on the 25th, then they would have need to have announced Pokemon Red and Blue, or the Game Boy Virtual Console by then. So that's kind of like the one exception I see to that. Is them announcing it just so that they can announce Pokemon Red and Blue coming to Switch during the Pokemon thing. But that would literally be like an out of left field prediction. Right? Pokemon Red and Blue coming to Switch. Red, Blue, and Yellow, I should say. That would be very out of left field. Doesn't mean I don't think it can happen, it's just very random. Oh, cool. So yeah, but we do need that, because, that would be a great place to put Super Metroid. That would be a great place to re-release Zero Mission, because the original Metroid ain't that good. That would be a good place to put Fusion, because, a lot of people who've played Dread probably never played Fusion. I'd love to play the Oracle games again. Of course, it's going to be part of the more expensive Nintendo tier. And I feel like we're out of N64 games now that GoldenEye's out. I mean, I know they haven't done Banjo-Tooie. They probably haven't done Conker's Bad Fur Day. I guarantee you that it'd be really cool to have Conker's Bad Fur Day on the 64 eShop. I literally see nothing stopping them from doing it other than Nintendo being fucking prudes. Which is a very inconsistent thing for Nintendo, by the way. But yeah. Let's see. Everybody want to switch. Pikmin 4, honestly, if they don't mention it, I won't be surprised. I do not think Pikmin 4 is going to be delayed. I know there has been, speculation that, hey, it would be very logical if Pikmin 4 got delayed into next year. However, I see it as like an October game. I think it's coming out in October, so them talking about it right now, that wouldn't make much sense. I could see them waiting until the summer. Definitely the summer, probably not the fall. Definitely the summer. So yeah, I'm gonna guess we're not gonna get anything on Pikmin 4. That new Donkey Kong game that's been rumored, definitely not getting anything about that. That Star Fox game is still fucking dead and will never come back. And with Pikmin 4, I stand by the fluid Pikmin idea. Right, the speculation was fluid Pikmin. Because there is concept art. There's like a bunch of weird Pikmin in concept art. Fluid Pikmin, tall green lanky boys, soot sprite Pikmin, the Studio Ghibli soot sprites. Those as Pikmin for that are immune to cold. I think that would make a lot of sense, and I actually see that one being very likely. But I think fluid water Pikmin make a lot of sense as well. Donkey Kong. The Star Fox thing is still dead. Fluid Pikmin. I'm just looking through some of my old notes. We already knew about Fire Emblem, came out already. GameCube Virtual Console, no. I don't know. I don't have anything else. You know, I always like a surprise or two. A new Tomodachi Life would be huge. You know, everybody... I feel like since Miitopia came out 2 years ago... Right, Miitopia? That was what it was called. I feel like a new Fire Emblem, or a new Tomodachi Life would make a lot of sense. It is a cult classic of a game that I think sold decently well on Switch, or on 3DS. It would make sense, is what I'm saying. A new Tomodachi Life would make a lot of sense. I think it'd be a cool reveal to get. So yeah, I'm rooting for a new Tomodachi Life. Because, you know, it's been right, I know we were all disappointed in Animal Crossing, but it's been a while. Okay, I'm not going to say we all were. I really think people were more disappointed in Animal Crossing than they should have been. What I will say is I think we were all disappointed with the amount of updates Animal Crossing got. That's what I was trying to say. We should have gotten more of that. A new Wario game, a new Endless Ocean. Both are entirely possible. But, no. A new Tomodachi Life would be very cool. I hope, you know, they add the Mii editor from Miitopia, which was a very which was a very fun editor that got people to create a lot of good things. I hope they bring back the robot voices and the sound stages and all those weird things. Tomodachi Life is a very weird but fun game. I want the new one to be weird and fun, right? I don't want them to turn it into The Sims. No, I want it to be like the 3DS game. Weird but fun. Anything else? I don't know. I know we got a new Kirby game coming out. I guess there's I don't know if that was fake or not. There was a whole thing about a mask system that may have been real, but it might have been fake. Because the image that I saw talking about it had, like, a bunch of, like, stupid masks. So, you know, that might have been aping off the leak by adding a bunch of fake ones. Kind of remind me of the character selection screen from fucking Lego Star Wars, of all things. But that comes out in March. I've already been getting ads for it on YouTube. And I guess people have been getting ads for Tears of the Kingdom. Excuse me, Tears of the Kingdom. So, do I think Tears of the Kingdom is coming out? Yes? But also no? Like, okay, yes, I don't think it's being delayed or anything. But, right, I could totally see us not getting any new information on Tears of the Kingdom this direct. If they decide... Oh my god, that's a triple kill. Nice. If they decide that... If they announce in the showcase, like, hey, we've got no new information on Tears of the Kingdom today. However, we do want to announce that we're doing a full Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom direct in March. That would not surprise me. That's what I expect. We might get a few more snippets of gameplay footage. You know, basically the same... Because I know everybody just wants to know more about this game. And yes, would I love a trailer for Tears of the Kingdom that was like the trailer for Breath of the Wild at the January Switch reveal presentation? Yes. Because that is one of the greatest game trailers of all time. I said gameplay. Right, that trailer for Breath of the Wild from January 2020 or 2017. God, that was 2017. That is still an amazing trailer. That trailer still blows my mind every time I think about it. So, I know people want another one of those. And I do hope we do get another one of those. But I'm going to guess it's going to be in its own direct. That will take place in, like, March. That's how that direct ends. Because that was that was the Breath of the Wild story trailer. If I remember correctly. So, yeah. But I don't think we're going to get any big thing here. And I do think they're going to announce a Tears of the Kingdom direct. I just called it Breath of the Wild 2 for so fucking long. That's why I keep calling it Breath of the Wild. Because it was just, we all knew it as Breath of the Wild 2 for years. We got our butts kicked. So yeah, anything else? There's gonna be some more. I wonder, right, because the last direct was a farming simulator direct. What's going to be the big thing this time? Is it going to be shoot 'em ups? Is it going to be fucking, I don't know. There's going to be something, though. I don't know, I still like to give Harvestella a try. If it ever gets cheap enough, I'd give it a try. Alright, let's check out the spin of the day. Okay, a mug. Oh, I changed the locker, kind of. Yeah. So it's not much different, but yeah. So I think we're gonna do some salmon run now, but I need to go run and get some more water. So I will be right back in a minute. And yeah, I'm gonna go get some water and then I'll be right back. I hit my toe. Fuck. Alright, let's go look at the shops real quick. Anything? I definitely feel like there's something Nintendo Direct I'm forgetting. I don't know. Mario Brothers movie game. We did get a new poster for the Mario Brothers movie. It is literally just one of those floating head posters. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, we got a water bottle. There goes all the money we made today. You know, it's funny. Like, just a few weeks ago, I had over, what was it, 500,000? Basically, I had 500,000. And now I don't even have 100K. I've lost so much money. Alright, let's see, what's the... Okay, yeah, we can work with that. It's not the best thing in the world, but we can work with that. So... I guess that takes us to WIBE. So, I've just been busy this week. I have been watching some classic South Park episodes. I don't know. I just felt like watching some classic South Park. What can I say? So I've been watching, a bunch of basic... I've mostly been hanging around, like, seasons, like, 13 and 14. Which, the Coon and Friends. Right? Shit like that. The Facebook Friends one. Just a bunch of, like, great episodes. So, yeah, that's been fun. But that's, that's just been stuff on the side. Yeah, and then we'll talk about Kaleidoscope at the end. So, there's a lot of weird products out right now. The only one, I've been looking for the most Oreo Oreos, which are basically cookies and cream flavored Oreos, which I remember somebody did as a joke a few years ago, but now they're real. I have not been able to find them. I have had no luck so far finding them. I think I have to go to the store tomorrow. Do I? Yeah, that sounds like something I have to do. So maybe I'll go looking for them tomorrow. Yeah, they're basically, cookies and cream Oreo flavored Oreos. So yeah. Same thing with the new Mountain Dew Pitch Black or whatever it's called. I keep getting ads for it, and I have not been able to find it. So yeah, that has not worked out well. The one thing I did find, though, was the new Dr. Pepper. Which normally I'd be like, oh yeah, let me show you what the can looks like, blah, blah, blah. No, me and my roommates already went through the entire case. Now, you may say, that may sound like, oh, then it was actually very good. Because, like, the fruitcake Mountain Dew, I still have, like, a fucking, like, half a case of. So that wasn't very great. But the ginger, us going through the whole, strawberry cream Dr. Pepper, I did say it was strawberry cream, right? Us going through the strawberry and cream Dr. Pepper must be like, oh, it's very good then. I personally don't think so. I think it's fine, but my roommates love it, so yeah. I think, of course, the problem with me is that I'm allergic to strawberry. So, yeah. I say that, but I had, some tequila rose recently, which I'd never had before, but it's like a strawberry cream tequila, and that shit's fucking good. Oh my gosh, I love that stuff. I don't know why, but that's strawberry. Oh, did I not? I thought I clicked freelance. I was waiting, and I was like, what? Why isn't it joined yet? But are we just not able to connect? But no, so strawberry and cream Dr. Pepper doesn't really do it for me. I'm still pissed off they never did the chocolate. Right? There was like a chocolate Dr. Pepper, but they only made like a very limited quantity of it, and I never got any of it. That one still pisses me off, because that could have been a huge thing. Because Dr. Pepper doesn't really do that many weird flavors. Like, I know they have the cream soda Dr. Pepper, and I know they do the wild berry every once in a while, which is very good. I still love the wild berry. I actually have a can of strawberry and cream. It's empty, but I have it right here. Strawberries and cream. Yeah, I don't really care for it. It's not the best. It's not the worst I've ever had. Again, fruitcake. But it's just not really for me. Honestly, I'm kind of out on most sodas. The only soda I feel like I really do like nowadays is fucking Macca's High C Orange. That kind of feels like it's it. Most other things, I just... Like, I guess I'll drink Dr. Pepper when it comes up. Because I hate Coke. Right? I know we've talked about this in the past. I fucking hate Coke. Coca-Cola. No. I feel like every, like, can of Coca-Cola I have recently has just been awful. So yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of Coke. I used to be a big Dr. Pepper guy, but not anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I guess that's really... I really do feel like that's it. That's all I have anymore. But I'm going to try the Pitch Black Mountain Dew. And I haven't had anything, you know, there's none of the exclusive foods at a restaurant. Like, I know Taco Bell is serving wings again, and I just cannot be bothered to give a shit. Like, I know it's a Super Bowl thing or something, but I just do not care. So, yeah. What else have I? I have been playing Planet Coaster. I played a bit more Planet Coaster. I've been going through the story mode, or the career mode as it's called. You know, honestly, I remember there being, in career mode, there being, like, more of, like... I guess I expected the career mode of Planet Coaster to be more like the career mode in something like Kerbal Space Program, where you're starting off with a small park that over the course of the game, you build up to become, like, a great park. But no, instead the career mode is, like, it's giving you a bunch of, like, half-built parks that you then have to finish. Or a bunch of parks that are in, like, financial, like, disarray. And you have to, like, clean up their finances and hire enough staff and whatnot. At least at the lower levels. So, on that end, I have been kind of disappointed. Because I'm like, I kind of just want to, like, start a brand new park where I have very little money and very little resources. But, you know, over the course of the park, I can build it up, get better resources. And, you know, basically, I want the story mode from Kerbal Space Program. And, you know, there might be something like that in the game. I know there's, like, a challenge mode or something like that. Maybe that's it. I really have not looked into it, admittedly. But so far, from what I've seen, that's not it. Oh my god, you fucking... So yeah, I have not been too... I've been playing it, you know, I loved Roller Coaster Tycoon back in the day. I really did. But admittedly, I played a lot of Sandbox Roller Coaster Tycoon. I don't even know if no, I did do the story mode, now that I'm thinking about it. Was it the third Roller Coaster Tycoon that had zoo stuff in it as well? Maybe I did the story mode in the third one. I don't know. It's been a long time now. Oh, we're down here. So yeah, other than that, I really have not been playing anything else. Oh shit. Okay, got us both. Okay, that was I'm less worried about. Have I been playing anything else? No, not really. At least nothing I can think of. Where did that... Did he blow... I didn't think he blew that up, but maybe he did. Oh, shit. Okay, you've got that. Oh my god. Anything else? Oh, I thought you were taking care of that. We're good, we won. I can't think of anything else I've been doing. Really, it's just been a busy week at work. And next week is busy as well. Yeah. So I guess the last thing I gotta talk about tonight is Kaleidoscope. So Kaleidoscope was a Netflix show that came out early this year. I want to say it came out like the 1st or the 2nd. Early in the year. And the premise was it's a heist show, but you could watch the episodes in any order except for the last episode, black or white. You start off with black, which explains the premise of the series, and you end with white. Other than that, you can watch the episodes in any order. You know, that's an interesting concept for a show. To be fair, I like that. I like the idea that everyone gets a very different viewing experience. So I went into it and I was like, yeah, sure, okay, Netflix randomizes everybody in order. So I was like, yeah, let's see whatever. And you know, I know there's that whole thing that came out about Netflix this week. We're not going to talk about it. You know, capitalism, this could be the end of Netflix, right? With them trying to lock account sharings. But they've already reversed the decision, right? It's kind of like the open D&D thing we talked about a few weeks ago, where like they saw how much it was hurting their business, and so they immediately reversed the decision. And was like, no, guys, that was just a leaked early draft. We didn't actually mean for that. So yeah, what else is new? Like, come the fuck on. But, you know, I still well, okay, I don't actually have... And see, technically, that affected me, because I don't have Netflix. I steal my parents' Netflix. Right? I have Disney Plus and HBO Max. That's it. That's what I've got. And, you know, I have things like Dropout and, technically Game Pass. I think Game Pass qualifies as that. Yeah, it definitely does. So yeah, I don't have Netflix. I just steal my parents. And you know, I took my sweet ass time with Kaleidoscope. Like, this is a show that came out back in what? This show came out right at the beginning of the month, and we're talking about it here at the beginning of February. Basically a month later. It took me a while to actually get to it. But I did finally get to it. Where's that fly fish? Oh, it's over there. So yeah, it took me a while to actually get to the show. Or to actually finish it. Like, I've been watching it for a while now. But I didn't actually finish it until... Actually, today. I finished it today. So the order I watched it in was... We're not... Black, technically, I think, is the start for everybody. And it just explains the series. Like, it's not an actual episode. Then Yellow, which is 6 weeks before the heist. Green, which is 7 years before the heist. Blue, which is 5 days before the heist. Orange, which is 3 weeks before the heist. Violet, which is 24 years before the heist. Then Red, which is the morning after the heist. And finally, Pink, which is 6 months after the heist. And then, of course, you have the final episode, which is White. It was a fine viewing order. I am curious if... Because they say you can watch it in any order. But every order I have ever seen of people talking about the show online, it always goes red, pink, and white to end off. And white ending off makes sense. It's the end of the show. But I've never... everybody I see gets red, pink, and white. So... Maybe that's just like a thing where Netflix has that like as a favored thing. But I would be curious if anybody started to show off with Red. Like, that'd be... Because Red takes place the morning after the heist. After everything's gone to shit. So I would be curious to see if anyone's watched... Right, got Red as their first episode. Yellow as a first episode, I think is a great first episode. Right? It's basically, I think it's a great setup because it introduces you to all of the show's characters. Right, you meet Stan, you meet Leo, you meet the couple who's, I don't remember any of their names actually. Was Bob one of them? Jai Courtney, who was being his Jai Courtney-ish. So I think Yellow is the perfect start. From there, you got Green, which is right where Leo meets Stan. It's his prison break where he fakes his death. Also, full spoilers ahead for the show. Right, full spoilers ahead. Then you get Blue, which was 5 days before the heist. And, like, Blue is I definitely feel like you could watch the show in chronological order. Even including White. Even watching White in chronological order. And you would be fine. There's part of me that definitely believes that. Because, yeah, getting Blue, and then right from Blue, you go back 3 weeks to Orange, which Orange's big thing is it introduces the FBI. Because, right, before then, we know Leo is this guy, and he's got a bone to pick with this other guy who runs this, like, security company. And so he's putting together this crew, right? A chemist, a vault cracking expert, a guy who can get you anything you need, this one the mechanic, and he's got and the supply, right? Ava, who is the supplier, right? Who gets them guns and equipment and everything. So you've got this group of people, and right, again, Yellow is a great start to the series because it introduces all of them. But then, right, going to Blue to like 5 days before the heist, to then going back to Orange, which is 3 weeks earlier, which then introduces the FBI. I definitely feel like, technically the FBI doesn't play that major of a role in the story, but it definitely is like, okay. Then you get Violet, which is the explanation of like, okay, this is why Leo hates this other guy. Is it Sorkin? It might not be Sorkin. Because they used to be partners together until this other guy screwed Leo over and locked Leo up in jail for 20 years, which is kind of what you find out in Green. And, right, we get the origin, we learn about Leo, right? Because you meet Leo's daughter at the end of... Again, Yellow is a perfect episode to start with. I really do recommend starting with Yellow. So, yeah, I definitely think that's kind of the way. You start with Yellow. Honestly, we'll talk about what order I think you should watch it in at the end. But yeah, finally getting, right, all that explanation, seeing how they got double-crossed, how this guy, right, basically they went to pull one more heist for this guy, right, because Leo wanted out, but he had to pull one more heist to help this guy out, and especially because his wife got screwed over by this company. But then the company, like, kind of, like, hired back the wife, and Leo didn't know. And then the wife dies. Right? Because of his actions, him and this other guy's actions. That basically, right, that's how the wife dies. And that's how Leo loses his daughter. So you definitely get the motivation there. And then Red is the morning after the heist. And again, this is the episode I'd be curious to see if anyone started with. Because it's after the heist has happened. You find out some of the characters are dead. And basically they talk a lot about how the heist just went to shit. How, like, everything went wrong. And then you actually see the heist and it didn't actually go wrong until the end. Like, legitimate, like, okay, definitely there was a moment where, like, you expect it all to go wrong. And you think, like, one of the characters has died. And then you find out it didn't. And the heist only went wrong because one of them, Bob, tried to screw over everybody else. And if it wasn't for that, the heist would have actually gone great. Right? It's really just it's that one thing. Bob trying to screw over everybody else. Because you definitely, right, by the end of the show, you fucking hate Bob. Because then in Pink, right, which is 6 months after the heist, you find out that, no, Bob didn't actually die. Which is, like, part of the... Right, which I know that's part of the reason why they want you to save White until the end. Because you see Red, and it's like, oh, Bob and the mechanic, AJ, something like that, are dead. And then, oh, surprise, surprise, in Pink, Bob is still alive. But now he can't talk, so you gotta watch what, right? You gotta wait until the end to find out why he can no longer speak. But, right, and then Pink is basically all of them dying. Right, the FBI agent dies, Leo... it looks to me like Leo gets killed by Stan. That's how I interpreted that. But I definitely feel like right, like, that's just my speculation. It may not have been intended to be that. But that's who it looked like to me. Because, right, Stan's constantly talking about Leo, hey, we need the money. And then there's also the whole bit about, right, how the girl leaves him. But yeah, Ava dies, Leo dies, Stan and the chemist are the only ones who don't. The head of the bank is in jail, and oh yeah, the FBI agent dies. The FBI agent, she's an interesting character, and I definitely feel like the episode that's all about her, Orange, is like, yeah, this is a good episode, but then it just kind of, I don't know, I just felt like, because at the end, right, because they talk about like how she has this past with Ava, and she was addicted to drugs. But then you find out at the end that, right, basically it's just, oh, she's traded one addiction for another. She's traded her addiction to drugs to her addiction to, you know, her job. And that's what gets her killed, because she keeps asking too many questions. So yeah. And then the final episode, White, is the heist. It's what happened, how did the heist go wrong, how did Bob and the AJ die. And again, they even kind of fake out AJ's death at one point. I know, right now it sounds like I'm talking very negatively about the show. I did like it. I felt like, right, Jai Courtney, Giancarlo Esposito, whoever is Hannah, right, they all give good performances. But it's definitely, like, the gimmick is interesting. And, like, if the show was just the gimmick, that would be one thing. But I do feel like there is a good gimmick behind the show. Or I feel like there's a good show behind the gimmick. I just wish there was, you know, part of me actually thinks it's probably better to watch this in a specific order. My best guess at an order is, I want to say, was it the one... I think it was either the New York Times or the Washington Post. They put out, like, hey, this is the order we recommend watching it in. And I honestly think they had a pretty decent order. I think I wrote it down somewheres. Give me a second, let me see. Did I write it down somewheres? Their order was yellow, violet, orange, green, blue, red, pink, white. Yeah, that's probably the best order to watch it, honestly. I would probably agree with that. Yellow introduces all the characters, violet gives you your flashback, orange sets up the FBI, green sets up, right, how how Leo got out of prison, blue is right before the heist, red is right after, pink is 6 months later, and then white is the heist, because they want you to end on white. But if I'm being 100% honest, part of me thinks that you can watch white. Not wherever, but definitely, like, I could see someone watch. Chronological order would be violet, green, yellow, orange, blue, white, red, and pink. I honestly think you could watch it in that order and be fine. Because there's really only, like, one or two big, like, twists that you find out about in red that, right, are then explained in, white. It's really just what's in the vault and what happened to the bonds. And the bonds one I totally predicted. Right, the bonds one, I was like, yeah, because at the very end of red, you find out that the post office is still working, and you see the people at the post office taking out, like, the mail, like a bunch of, like, FedEx boxes. And I'm like, that's the real bonds. The daughter took them all. And sure enough, of course, you find out she didn't actually steal them. she's actually giving them back to the Syndicate in order for protection, to make sure she has a right to basically, like, right, basically it's all ending good for her, no matter what it is, because you find out at the end that she does have a kid, and, you know, her life's looking pretty up and up. This is a great place to get a pillar. Holy shit, right there. That's actually a great pillar placement. Instead of having to deal with the wheelie dealies. That's actually a great placement for a pillar. So yeah, I think it's a good heist show. Part of me thinks, like, yeah, the gimmick's a neat one, but I also part of me thinks the gimmick doesn't matter, right? Like, part of me does think that you could probably get a better experience by watching it chronologically. Yeah. I mean, it may be less satisfying, because, you know, the heist is supposed to be, like, this big thing. There's not really even, like, a big... I mean, there kind of is a big set piece in the heist, but also not really. So, like, I don't know how necessary it is to see the heist at the end. Sure, it gives away some of the reveals early, but part of me actually thinks that's fine. I don't know. Like, I get what they were going for. And again, I think the show is good. It's an interesting heist show. Right, and I really do like the characters. I like Leo. I fucking hate Bob, but that's the point. You're supposed to hate him. I like Stan. I like the chemist. I like Ava. I like, again, the mechanic, who's in it for, yeah, like 2 episodes. So yeah, I think the show is fine. I know I just spoiled the entire thing, but I do recommend it. Right? If you're gonna keep, you know, if because of everything with Netflix trying to end account sharing, if you've already paid for Netflix this month, you might as well watch it, right? I think, right, again, assuming account sharing's over for me, it's not like, I know it's like, oh, you have to check in with the ownership of the, right, if you're, like, using a place, according to whatever their deal was, which, again, they got rid of. According to how that worked, it was basically you had to, like, check in with the house, or, like, the main IP address once a month, and I'd probably see my parents at least once a month. So I probably would have been fine. But, right, if I am getting rid of Netflix, there are definitely, right, I need to finish Kipo. I probably should finally watch Hilda. I should probably finally watch, what's the other big show on Netflix? There's another big animated... Oh, Dragon Prince. Dragon Prince, yeah, that's it. There's also one other I'm totally forgetting. But, right, if this is my last month of Netflix, then so be it. I really should watch the Dragon Prince, though. I don't think this is the end of it, right? They've already undone the decision, because the backlash... Because since the beginning of the pandemic, more and more people are coming to realize that we can bully corporations into doing whatever we want them to do. The corporations will never act like the bullying worked, but it 100% worked. And this is just another example of, hey, guess what? We bullied a corporation into doing exactly what we wanted them to do. This is just the most recent in a long string of examples of how bullying a corporation totally works. But yeah, Kaleidoscope was a fine show. You know, the gimmick was interesting to get me enough to watch the show. But the show was good enough that I actually did watch the entire thing. Took my sweet time on it, because I'm just not a binge... Right, depending on the show, I'm either a binge guy or I'm not a binge guy. Right, some shows all the way binge, right? Kipo, I did the first 2 seasons in a week, which I know for some people, oh, they do it in a day. And, you know, I get that. Some people would do all 3 seasons in a day. That ain't me. But, you know, two seasons in a day ain't bad for me. Where are you going? Okay, we're definitely not meeting the quota. Ah, shit. Okay, whatever. So, yeah. I think that takes us to the end of the show. Yeah, you know, it was a light show. An hour and a half light show tonight. I don't know. I'm actually really excited for a Nintendo Direct next week. I'm going to be honest. Even if they don't have anything, like, amazing to announce, a Nintendo Direct would be cool. I'm going to do one more round, you know? I'm going to do one more, even if we don't make it. I'd like to at least get that next level prize. Yeah, let's do one more. Or at least, I'm at least going to try. So, yeah. So, next week is the Splatfest. And, you know, I love me some Splatfest. That's always fun. I bet the month, if there is a Nintendo Direct, they will probably talk about Big Wave, or Big Next Wave, or whatever the fuck it was called. Next Wave, Agents of Hate. So, yeah. I think it was, or was it called Big Run? Maybe it was called Big Run. Whatever it is, we'll probably get another Big Run. No idea what the map is, but we'll probably get another one. That would make sense. Gosh, I love the Splattershot Jr., man. This is my weapon. There was something... And see, one of the things that I will say is, at least in these coming weeks, there's no video games I'm interested in. Like, I feel like, because Kirby comes out in March, but I've already played the new Kirby game. I don't need to play the new one. Or I don't need to play this one, because I've already played it. Oh god, we just need one more. Nope, we didn't make it. Ah, fuck. Whatever. Yeah, the new Kirby game, I have not, right, I played it. I played it on the Wii back in, I actually probably played it in, like, 2013, admittedly. It wasn't until the Wii, I played it on the Wii U, actually. Not on the Wii. And then, of course, I streamed it back in, like, 2017. So, and you can find those videos. We're just barely under. Oh my god. Let's go again. So yeah, I played the new Kirby game I've already played. Nothing they are adding to the game really interests me. I'm interested in the new Fire Emblem game, but I'm not going to pick it up because I still have a copy of 3 Houses sitting on my shelf that I haven't touched. So that's of like, oh, whatever. Right, whatever. Hi-Fi Rush looked interesting on Game Pass, but yeah, I don't have Game Pass. I don't know. I just feel like there's not really any big game for me until Tears of the Kingdom, which is 100 days away. Alright, I think it's 97, but, you know, same difference. Ah, we're just out of reach. Yeah, I really am not oh my god, oh, fuck, man. You shouldn't have come for me. Come on. Yeah, I'm just Tears of the Key. Because I don't... Again, Advanced Wars comes out in April. And, like, I'm sure it'll be fine. But I don't have a good history with, right? It's the same reason why I'm hesitant to play a Fire Emblem game. Not that it's a bad game or... God, how did that not count? Not that it's, like, a bad game or anything. It's just I don't like turn-based... It's not even that I hate turn-based strategy. Or whatever the hell we call games like Advanced Wars and Fire Emblem. It's not that I hate games like that. It's just I don't... It's Fire Emblem. My hesitation has always been permanent. My hesitation with something like Advanced Wars and also Fire Emblem is that I don't like it when like it takes me an hour to do a single battle. I fuck something up after like an hour, and then I have to redo the entire thing. That's why I've always been hesitant of Monster Hunter, because Monster Hunter is a game you play for like an hour, you fuck up one thing, and then you got to play for another hour. Right? You got to redo everything. And I don't like that. Even though I should play Monster Hunter Rise, man. Everybody loves that game. It definitely is. It must be doing something right. Especially because there's that new game that comes out that is basically just Monster Hunter, but not done by whatever studio does Monster Hunter. Is it Squeenix? I don't think Monster Hunter is Squeenix. It might be Squeenix. I don't know. Oh, that just broke up the entire tower. Okay, I don't know how we did that. I'm gonna lure it back to the base. Oh, deposit egg. Oh my god, really? Right as I was killing it, it hit me. I don't know. I want to play more games, but I'm just not. And it's totally a me thing. I don't know. I gotta charge my Switch controller. It was almost dead. Okay, we're level 73. I do think at the rate we're going, we're probably gonna get to max level before the end of the season. We're on a good pace to do that. Okay, we needed some I actually used up a bunch of quick jump tickets to get my perfect gear. So I needed some of those. Yeah. Reading a book, you know, been doing that, but I don't talk about that on this show. Been watching some Uno videos on YouTube. Pfft. Whatever. It is the only time Ninja has ever made me laugh. Is that Uno video where he just kept drawing cards. That's it. That's the only time I have ever laughed because of Ninja. So I've been trying to get all the amiibo gear. And when I scan the amiibo, it gives me a piece of gear. But then I get that one piece and that's it. It won't give me anything else. I think it gave me like the boots. but it won't give me anything else. And I know, oh, well, if I take pictures with it, maybe. So I guess I should mess around with that. Hey, little bub. But yeah, I've been working on a little, because, you know, I have a bunch of the Splatoon amiibo. So I've been working on a side project of trying to get all of the amiibo gear. But so far, it has all proved unsuccessful. I mean, I've gotten some of it for the gear I already had in Splatoon 2, but for any of the new gear, no, the game just refuses to give me any of it. Because, you know, I never actually had, I think this is the Knight's gear. I never actually got the Knight's gear in Splatoon 2. I got the amusement park stuff, and I got the witch stuff, which the witch stuff still looks great. But I never did the Knight's one. So I'm like, I'm going to get it all in 3. Again, I'm still working towards the Project of Perfect gear stuff. I know we have these shoes, but I'm working on other things as well. So, yeah. And yeah, I think that's where we're ending off. We'll be back next week for Splatfest. For, Nintendo Direct, maybe. Will I stream the Nintendo Direct? Probably not. No, I think I'm working... Nintendo Directs usually take place during a certain time, and I'm pretty sure the normal time they take place, I'm at work. So, yeah, no, I probably will not be able to stream this Direct. If it happens on, like, Thursday. So, yeah, don't expect that. But we'll definitely talk about it on Friday. And with that, I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Until next time, peace.